Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Uh, I'm Denzel, and I got a few players that I want to bring to you guys' attention today because we got some mega studs on this main slate and throughout the day. Uh, I probably won't be playing the early slate, so because I might be asleep. I just got off work. As you can see, it's 7:45 a.m. So with that being said, like and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell, man, for future videos. You don't want to miss anything I put out, from prop bets to anything like that. So just hit the notification bell, man, and like it and subscribe. Definitely trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. For rolling with me through this journey, man. So we're gonna hop right into it. I'm using Draft Dashboard right now, a tool that I've been checking out lately. It's pretty cool. I'll go into details about that in a separate video, and I'll break down the features and stuff like this. So with that being said, there's a few players that's in my player pool. And these players that I'm going to bring to you today are going to help you squeeze in some of these players, because we got some hell of a price tags on the slate today between Fanduel and Draftkings. And I'm just going to give you a few players from each game. I'm a one lineup type of guy, so I'm just going to breeze right through these players and let you know how I feel. Starting off first, we're going to start with the, it doesn't really matter since these guys are at the top. We're going to start off with the Dallas side of things. From the Dallas Mavericks, I got a few cheap plays. Now keep in mind, Dallas has been riddled with injuries. So we really need to keep an eye out on the Tim Hardaway Jr. situation. If he doesn't play, then it's a plus for a lot of these guys. They will get Jalen Brunson back today, so he's probably one of my favorite plays. You'll get Jalen Brunson at 3,900 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings you'll get him at 4K. Trey Burke, James Johnson, and another thing to point out, they're on a back-to-back, so Kristaps Porzingis, he's priced at 6,900 on FanDuel, and I think he's 8K on DraftKings. Real nice price on DraftKings. On FanDuel at 6,900. I think he played upwards of 30 minutes last game, so that's something that you need to keep in mind. He might be a rest candidate, and if so, James Johnson. Especially if Hardaway is out, he's just a lock. A lock. 5K on DraftKings, 4,700 on FanDuel. It is what it is. Willie Cauley-Stein, again, going up against Toronto, a big body, especially if Kristaps Porzingis is out. He's somebody you can fire up. On FanDuel, the highest center on FanDuel price is 5,900, and that's Wendell Carter Jr. So center on FanDuel is up for grabs. And an honorable mention from that side is Wes Iwundu. I think he played 30 minutes last game. Yeah, he played 30. His last 3 games, he played 30, 22, and 26. His last game, he played 30 minutes. Tim Hardaway Jr. was out. You'll get him at 3,500 on FanDuel, and you'll get him at 3,300 on DraftKings. he's just an honorable mention. But the minutes are there, and if you want to cram in some of these studs, then it's somebody you could probably consider. Now over to the Toronto side. It's not much to look at for Toronto, but I got something site-specific for you. We'll kick it off with Chris Boucher. He's not a value play, but he's been on fire. You guys know this by now. He's 7,100 on Fanduel. He's 7,100 on Draftkings. On Fanduel, you'll get him for 8,100. Do as you will with that. Norman Powell. Last 3 games, he played 28, 19, and 20 minutes. If they decide to ramp his minutes up, even though I don't like his price, he's priced at 4,800 on both sites. I'm not feeling the price tag. Somebody I wanted to point out, just in case you guys feel kind of froggish. OG, priced at 5,900 on DraftKings. On 6K on DraftKings and 5,800 on FanDuel. He gets all the minutes he can handle. A banged up Dallas team. This guy, he likes to stick around the basket. So do with that as you will. He's priced under 6K on FanDuel, and the minutes are there. His last 3 games, he played 35, 33, and 35 minutes. And last 3, he had 36, 32, and 31 fantasy points. Just somebody I thought I'd throw out there. Now, moving over to the next game. We're going to look at the Brooklyn game. We got Brooklyn going up against Milwaukee. The sexiest game of the year. Straight up, for real. Kyrie might be back, so, there's not a lot of uses to go around on that Brooklyn side. But one guy you can look at, Brook Lopez. 5,300 on FanDuel and 5,600 on DraftKings. The slate is condensed. We have four games this slate. So, players that I don't play him, but players that you don't usually play are going to be in play. So, like I said on FanDuel, the highest price center is 5,900, and that's Willie Cauley-Stein. I'd imagine you might get Brook Lopez right behind him. So, it's all out warfare with the plays today. Next up, I want to point out is Jeff Green. You'll get Jeff Green. I'll go back to the. I'll stick with the Memphis. First I'll stick with the Milwaukee side, and I'll go to Dante DiVincenzo. Now you'll get him on 54. You'll get him at 5,400 on DraftKings, but on FanDuel you get him at 4,400. And if I was to even consider playing him, I would play him on FanDuel. At 4,500, last 3 games he played 26, 25, and 26 minutes, and he had 15, 24, and 23 fantasy points. But again, I won't be able to get to all these players, but at some point of the day, I'll have to narrow it down and pick somebody. And moving over to the Brooklyn side, Jeff Green. You'll get Jeff Green at 4K on FanDuel and 4,200 on DraftKings. His last 3 games, he played 29, 32, or 24 minutes and put up 14, 22, and 9 fantasy points. The usage probably won't be there, but the minutes would. And he might be able to stumble into a few rebounds. You know, the minutes are there for him. The team is real thin, you know. So, plus they have a tough matchup. You know, I'd imagine he'd be guarding ABC and, you know, he'd have to stay out of foul trouble. And that's something you can consider as well. You know, keep that in the back of your mind because, you know, we all know how aggressive ABC is. My next play from the Brooklyn side of things is DeAndre Jordan. 4,500 on Fanduel, 4,800 on Draftkings. He hasn't been playing very well this season. With that being said, I'm not afraid of the rebounding situation versus Milwaukee. Centers can grab a nice amount of rebounds. Lopez likes to stick out on the perimeter, although Lopez has been rebounding a little lately. But I think DeAndre Jordan is a better rebounder than him. If DeAndre Jordan can stay out of foul trouble and he can give us 30 minutes or upwards of that, last 3 games he played 23, 28 minutes. He had 18 and 32 fantasy points. Just putting that out there. And you know you can play 2 centers on DraftKings. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Last but not least, from the Brooklyn side, Joe Harris. He's a FanDuel play for me. 4,500 on FanDuel, 5,800 on DraftKings. We already know what he can do. He gets the minutes. Last three games, he played 30 minutes twice. He had over 20 fantasy points in the last few games. We know he can shoot that rock. He might be wanting to shoot that 3. You know, we know what he can do. The usage is probably going to be down because, like I said, he might get Kyrie back. But it's just at that $4,500 price tag, he could be a filler. And that's it for the Brooklyn and Milwaukee game. But like I said, that's going to be a juicy game. And as far as the studs from that game, if I had to pick one guy from that game, it is so hard to pick one guy. But I probably would go ABC. But ABC would have to stay out of foul trouble, especially offensive fouls, because he knows how to go to that rim uncontrollably, and you're gonna have some savvy players out there, and goodness gracious, you're gonna have some savvy players out there in Kyrie, Harden, and Durant. They can step in, get offensive foul calls, and stuff like that. That's something I've noticed about ABC. But anyway, moving along. We got the Chicago Bulls game. Chicago Bulls versus Houston. On the Chicago side of things, Garrett Temple. He played upwards of 20 minutes, and he played at least 20 minutes in the last 3 games, bringing home a 28 minutes and 36 minutes. He hit 30 fantasy points twice in the last 3 games. Just something to keep an eye out on. You'll get him for 3,800 on FanDuel, and on DraftKings you'll get him for 4,500. So you can decipher the 2 sites you want to play him on, if you decide you want to play him. Who else we got from the Bulls? We got the Bulls rookie here, Pat Williams. You'll get him at 5,600 on DraftKings. That's a no for me. 4,600 on FanDuel. He's at the power forward slot. Do with it what you will. If you want to go there, you know, it is what it is. I'm just pointing it out. The last game was a blowout. He played 22 minutes, but the 2 games before that, he played 35 minutes apiece. The Bulls did get Markkanen back, so we might have to temper our expectations. You know, Archie Diacono came back, and we just have to keep an eye out on injury news because he might lose some playing time. Next up for the Bulls, we all know Otto Porter. He's sitting at 5K. He went back to the bench. Like I said, Markkanen is back, so it's going to hurt some of these guys' value. He's 5K on DraftKings, on Fanduel, and 57 on DraftKings. So, you know, it is what it is. Honorable mention, Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter has played 38 minutes last game in the blowout, 39 minutes in the overtime game, and then he played 17 minutes. I believe he got in foul trouble. 26 minutes, 32 minutes, and 26 minutes. Last game was a blowout. Then he played 32 minutes. I forgot what team that was. Anyway, but he's the highest priced center on FanDuel. You'll get him at $5,900. And on DraftKings, you'll get him at $6,500. And Lauri Markkanen. FanDuel, you'll get him at $6,100. DraftKings, you'll get him at $6,700. He played his first game last game. He played 32 minutes his first game back. Had 44 fantasy points. At $6,100 on FanDuel, with these guys that's priced up, and the way he just shown us some upside last game. And if you want to hop on that train, be my guest. I might hop on that train as well. Would love to catch him at $6,100 and ride him, especially if he continues to stay hot like he just did, going up against a Houston team. The Bulls definitely need his offense. What he's going to do is remain to be seen, but he's definitely an honorable mention. Moving over to the Houston side of things. Jae'Sean Tate. You get him at $5K on FanDuel and $5,100 on DraftKings. He's someone who has been playing minutes this year, period. So, you know, the usage is there for him. But we'll probably get, you got to watch out for the injury situation, because we'll probably get Victor Oladipo, who's making his debut today. And they should get Eric Gordon. Then you got Cousins, who's questionable. He might play. But with all that being said, when Harden was there, he was still getting his minutes. So I still think he's in play. So he's somebody you can, keep an eye out on. This going against this Bulls team, that they don't have that much, they're not great defensively. Next play from the Houston side, Demarcus Cousins. He's questionable. $4,500 on FanDuel, $5K on DraftKings. The minutes haven't been there, but we know what he can do. This play is just something. This is a reminder play that, just reminder, at any given day he can bust your ass. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And somebody who I never, ever, ever play. But if you want to fit some of these guys on in, and you won't be alone, trust me, if you decide to go this route, PJ Tucker. 4,100 on Fanduel, 4K, 4,500 on Draftkings. Last 3 games, he played 36, 35, and 32 minutes. 2 of those games, he had over 20 fantasy points. He had 25 and 22. We all know what he does. He's that spot up, dirty work guy. He might be able to come up with a few steals, a few rebounds, and boom, he might do something nice for you. Man, I don't play him, but I just had to bring him up. And then we got the last game on the docket for the main slate, the Lakers and Golden State. Now, I'll step over to the Lakers side because I didn't have many plays that I felt confident in. So I landed on another guy who I don't play, and it's Kuzma. Going up against Golden State, I have no love for this guy, really, unless it's some big-time injuries. Big-time injuries, but, at 4,200 on FanDuel, he's worth a look. Not so much on DraftKings, but, it is what it is. He's priced at 5,500 on DraftKings, so, on FanDuel, he's priced down, I just don't know, man. He played 22, 18, and 27 minutes his last 3 games. He did put up a 30 in one of those games, a 22 and a 24. So, take it with a grain of salt, man. It is what it is. Now, there is some blowout potential in that game. And then, on the other hand, Golden State can get hot. So, on the Golden State side of things, Kelly Oubre Jr., somebody who I just really don't. I have probably played him a couple times in the beginning of the season, but he hasn't looked well to me. He's acting like he wants to come around, but the price tag could be a little high. But keep in mind, this is the last game. And people love to get those late night hammers. Get those late night hammers in, They love to get those late night hammers in. So, Draymond Green. If he can stay out of foul trouble, you know what he does. The Lakers are a big team, though. That might hinder his rebounding situation. But he's a guy who can give you a double-double in assists and rebounds. He don't score that much, but we all know what he can do. If guys like Oubre and Wiggins are hitting their shots, he can rack up the assists. I'm trying to tell you, you already know. James Wiseman, 4,400 on FanDuel, 4,600 on DraftKings. The center spot today is very ugly. The minutes, they're going to need his size today. He played 27, 26, and 16 minutes in his last 3 games. Last game, he had 35 fantasy points, man. Like I said, they're going to need his size. They do got Looney and all that, but they want Wiseman to be great. DraftKings, you can play 2 centers, so that's something to keep in mind. And last but not least, I don't even know why I threw Damian Lee in there. But since he's sitting right there, because I was just going through my player pool and I was just throwing guys in there. So I don't know how the fuck he got in there, but anyway, but I was looking at him. I was just looking at him. If it was, that's what it was. Because sometimes I try to predict games. If it was a blowout or something like that, that's valuable, man. That's valuable, really, man. If it's a blowout, some guys have just become blowout proof. They play minutes, in the regular rotation, and If they're getting a blowout, just stay your ass on out there, you know. So he's 3,700 on DraftKings, 4K on Fanduel. Not somebody I'm really considering, but you do have different types of slates, late night slates, and single game slates. So take a look at them. Take a look at them, and get at me. Let me know what you see. You know what I'm saying? And about all these plays, man. Give me some feedback on some of these plays or some plays that you like. I don't know. It don't matter. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Remember, hit the notification bell because I'm about to bring different types of videos. Sports bet videos, tutorial videos. I'm finna bring some shit. Peace out, man.